Life was a lonely road, a path often walked in silence and contemplation. At least that's how it felt to Daniel, a man lost in his own thoughts and memories. He went through the motions each day: work, eat, sleep, repeat. The monotony of his routine was suffocating. He hadn't always been this way. There was a time when his days were filled with laughter and love. He used to believe in love and a future filled with happiness and shared dreams. But life had a way of changing your perspective, of altering your path in unexpected ways. Now he was resigned to the solitude, accepting it as his new reality. Daniel found solace in his art, a refuge from the emptiness that surrounded him. He was a sculptor, his hands molding clay into breathtaking figures, each piece a testament to his inner world. Each piece reflected a part of him, his longing, his loneliness, his unspoken words. He poured his emotions into his work, finding a bittersweet comfort in the act of creation, a temporary escape. One cold December evening, Daniel sat in his studio, the smell of clay heavy in the air, the silence almost deafening. He stared at his latest creation, a woman frozen in a dance pose, her form graceful yet incomplete. She was beautiful, but incomplete. Something was missing, an elusive element he couldn't quite grasp. He sighed, the weight of his loneliness pressing down on him, a constant reminder of what he had lost. He longed for a connection, a spark to ignite the embers of his heart, to bring warmth to his cold existence. Little did he know, that spark was about to walk into his life, bringing with it the promise of change. Her name was Rose. It suited her perfectly, like a delicate bloom in a world often too harsh. Daniel met her at a local art fair where he was showcasing his work. His sculptures were his way of expressing emotions he couldn't put into words. She was drawn to his sculptures, her fingers lingering on the smooth curves of the dancing woman. It was as if she could feel the emotions he had poured into the stone. When she looked at him, her eyes, the color of warm honey, held a depth that took his breath away. They seemed to see right through him, understanding his unspoken words. Rose was everything Daniel wasn't. She was the vibrant splash of color in his monochrome world. She was vibrant, full of life. Her energy was infectious, making everyone around her feel more alive. Her laughter was like music, chasing away the shadows that clung to him. It was a melody that brought light to his darkest days. She was a writer, her words painting vivid pictures in his mind. Each story she told was a new adventure, a new way to see the world. She saw the world in full color, while he saw it in shades of gray. Her perspective was a revelation to him, a burst of color in his otherwise dull existence. He found himself drawn to her light like a moth to a flame. Her presence was a beacon, guiding him out of his darkness. She was sunshine breaking through the clouds, warming his soul in a way he never thought possible. Her light was a promise of better days. For the first time in a long time, Daniel felt a flicker of hope. Could this be real? He wondered if he could truly embrace this newfound light in his life. Their love story unfolded slowly, like the unfurling of a rosebud. They spent hours talking, sharing their dreams, their fears, their passions. Rose was drawn to Daniel's quiet intensity, the way his eyes seemed to see into her soul. He, in turn, was captivated by her spirit, her ability to find beauty in the everyday. She was like a rose in full bloom, her fragrance filling his life with color and joy. Their connection was undeniable, a shared language spoken through stolen glances, soft touches. Daniel found himself sculpting with a renewed passion, his heart overflowing with inspiration. Rose became his muse, her essence woven into every curve and line of his creations. She was his life, his love, his Rose. Their love, like any, faced its share of challenges. Daniel's self-doubt often threatened to overshadow their happiness. He feared he wasn't good enough for Rose, that he would only drag her down. But Rose, with her unwavering faith in him, always managed to chase away his demons. She reminded him of his strength, his talent, his worth. She helped him see himself through her eyes, a man worthy of love and happiness. Together they weathered the storms, emerging stronger and more united. They celebrated each other's victories, big and small. They were each other's biggest cheerleaders. Their love a constant source of support and encouragement. Section 5, A Shared Sunset. Years passed, each one a testament to their enduring love. They built a life together, filled with laughter, passion, and unwavering companionship. They were two halves of a whole, their love a beacon of light in a sometimes dark world. Daniel watched Rose one evening as they sat on their porch, the setting sun painting the sky in hues of orange and purple. Her hair, now streaked with silver, caught the light, and her eyes still held that same warmth that had captivated him all those years ago. He reached for her hand, his fingers intertwining with hers. Time may have etched lines on their faces, but their love, like a fine wine, had only grown stronger with age. "Happy anniversary, my love," Daniel whispered, placing a single red rose on Rose's breakfast tray. It was their 40th anniversary, a testament to a love that had stood the test of time. Rose smiled, her eyes sparkling. "Thank you, darling." She brought his hand to her lips, placing a tender kiss on his weathered skin. Their love was a comfortable silence, a knowing glance, a shared lifetime of memories. Later that evening, they swayed to their song, a melody that had filled their lives with joy for decades. As Daniel held Rose close, he felt an overwhelming sense of gratitude. She was his life, his everything. Life, however, was not without its cruel ironies. Rose, his vibrant, life-loving Rose, was diagnosed with an illness. The news hit Daniel like a physical blow. He felt his world crumble around him, fear gripping his heart like a vice. He refused to accept it at first. He clung to hope, to the belief that she would beat it, that their love was strong enough to conquer anything. But as the days turned into weeks and Rose grew weaker, a chilling reality began to set in. The fear in his heart was palpable. The thought of losing her, his soulmate, his anchor, was unbearable. Yet through it all, their love remained, a beacon of light in the encroaching darkness. Rose bore her illness with grace and courage. Even in her pain, she worried more about Daniel than herself. She knew his fear, felt the depth of his love for her. She held his hand, her grip weak but her touch filled with an unspoken promise. "Our love," she whispered, her voice raspy, "is eternal. It will outlive us both." Daniel, his heart breaking, could only nod, tears streaming down his face. He would cherish their remaining time together, hold her close and tell her he loved her with every beat of his heart. He knew that even in her absence, her love would continue to be his guiding light. Rose was gone. Her absence was a void that Daniel felt deeply every single day. The world felt empty, devoid of color and warmth. It was as if the very essence of life had been drained away, leaving behind a cold gray shadow of what once was. Daniel was lost, adrift in a sea of grief. Every step he took felt heavy. Every breath a reminder of the love he had lost. He found solace in their memories, in the echoes of her laughter that lingered in their home. The photographs, the little notes she left behind, all became his anchors. He went back to his studio, his sanctuary. It was the one place where he felt closest to her, where he could channel his emotions into something tangible. He picked up a lump of clay, his fingers are moving instinctively. The familiar texture brought a sense of calm, a connection to the past. He sculpted her, his rose, capturing her essence, her beauty, her love. Each curve, each detail was a testament to the depth of his feelings. The sculpture was his tribute to her, a reminder that their love was eternal. It stood as a symbol of their unbreakable bond. As he looked at her likeness, he felt a sense of peace wash over him. It was as if she was there with him, watching over him. Their love story, like the life cycle of a rose, had blossomed, faced challenges, and ultimately found its way back to beauty, even in its finality. It was a journey of growth, loss, and rediscovery. He carried her love with him, a treasure more precious than time itself. It was a beacon of hope, a light in his darkest moments. Their love story, a love like theirs, would never truly end. It was eternal, transcending time and space, living on in the hearts of those who remembered.